So in today's episode, I'm going to be showing you how to replace a sliding door. It may seem challenging. I'm sure you got a quote from a contractor and the price is just astronomical. Well, in today's video, I'm going to show you how to easily replace one and save yourself thousands of dollars. So with that said, let's go ahead and get started. So the first thing you need to do is to take the doors off. Now every sliding door is going to be a little bit different, but most of them are very similar. So you're going to have the outer glass door, which is the one that you see me moving right now. There are going to be two metal brackets, one on the top, one on the bottom, holding the door into the frame. So all you got to do is unscrew it, and then you lift that door and it comes right off. Easy as that. Now this actual sliding door, it has rollers on the bottom. You just get a flathead screwdriver, stick it down there, lift, and then compress the rollers and comes right off. Let me show you what the rollers look like right now. That's exactly what I'm doing. Most sliding doors are gonna have wheels like this. They sit on the track, and then in order to get the door off, you just get a flathead screwdriver. You lift the door, and then you get the flathead screwdriver to compress the wheels, and that's how you take those doors off. Very easy to do, and anybody can do it. I can tell you, if I can do it, so can you. Now, if you are replacing the wheels and you're not actually replacing the door itself, just be careful not to stick a screwdriver all the way in the gap in there, because you may hit the glass and it's going to break. So yeah, take the doors off, and then the next step, it's going to be to remove the actual frame. When removing anything off the walls, especially if it has been painted, caulked, or stuccoed over like this one right here, well, first thing is you need to unscrew the frame. Most frames are going to be screwed in. And then what you want to do is you want to cut the caulking. Whatever it touches the frame, you want to cut it. Get yourself a utility knife, brand new blade, and then you just want to cut it. And what that's going to do is it's going to prevent damage to the surrounding area. Either the paint, the trim, or the stucco. I did not want to do any more repairs here because, well, this job was actually a loss. I'm gonna be making another video explaining that, but this video is specifically about how to replace it. But anyways, take the frame out. Once you cut the frame away from the stucco and the caulking and the trim, just get a pry bar and you pry it out. Most sliding doors are going to be installed like this. Now, I'm going to be giving you a few tips later in the video that is going to save you a few $1,000s. Very important for you to stick all the way to the end, especially if you're looking into saving money on buying a new sliding door. Now, the sliding door that I have sitting against the wall over there, that is a new construction, and it has nailing fins on the side. Now, the frame that I'm removing right now, believe it or not, that is an old construction, meaning it's a retrofit meant to go into an existing opening. It has no nailing fins. What that means is, well, when you install a door, normally on a new construction, it's going to sit on the frame, and then it has like a piece of plastic that goes all the way around the frame, and that is what you actually screw into the frame or nail it in. I was trying to find a retrofit door to just go into this opening right here, but believe it or not, it was a special order. It's not something that you can just go buy at the store and pick it up. Now, the difference in price between a new construction and a retrofit is astronomical. But anyways, let me keep going with the video. So right here, all I'm doing is I'm unwrapping the new door, checking for damage, especially before installation. I actually did that before taking the old one out. That's actually a good tip for you, is to inspect your new door, because you don't want to remove the old one and find out you're gonna have issues with the new one. Now you see that plastic fin that I'm removing. Let me give you a better look. Right, it's just a plastic that surrounds the entire frame of the new door. It has little holes in there, and those holes are meant to actually for you to screw it into the framing or nail it into the framing. But what I'm doing is, well, I wanted to save money. And so I got a new construction, and then this one right here is meant to go onto the framing. But as you can see, I have an existing opening. It's already finished, and then it's not gonna fit with the fence on. So what I did over here, I just got a utility knife, brand new blades, and I just cut it. That is the only difference between a retrofit door, a sliding door, or even windows, and a new construction window. And I can tell you the price difference is it's crazy. It's over $1,000. So I was trying to order one because I didn't want to deal with it, right? And I never installed a sliding door before. I have done a lot of doors, and I was not afraid of doing this job because it's no different than installing a door or a French door. But anyways, I never had to deal with a new construction fence like this. I know some brands, they are removable, but this one right here was not, so I just cut it off, and that's it. That is the only difference between a retrofit and a new construction sliding door. And I can tell you, if I had special ordered a retrofit one from this same company, it was actually almost $1,800. This one right here, I picked up at Lowe's, and it was almost $600. Massive, huge price difference, and all I had to do was take an extra 10 minutes just to cut that fin off. Now, later in the video, I'm also going to show you how I install this onto the existing framing. But this one right here, it had fins on the bottom, and it had it on the top. Now, the opening was just perfect. I literally only had like maybe half an inch of gap around the frame and the new sliding door to play with, so it was a tight fit. If you are replacing your sliding door and your sliding door is not gonna fit, you can just whiten the area. I would have just had to cut the wood a little bit, maybe the stucco, and then made some room. But to be honest, I got lucky, and as you can see over here, I'm tapping it in because I had a few chunks of stucco sticking out and it was hitting the frame. But it fit perfectly, so no complaints, super easy to do. You just gotta be careful not to hit the glass, and you're just gonna have to play around. So just make sure that your sliding door, as soon as you put it in, it's square, meaning up and down it's even, and sideways that it's not crooked. And that's what took the longest, to be honest. Removing the old door, installing the new one in, it didn't really take that much time, maybe about an hour. What took the longest was actually getting it square. I wanted the frame square, and it just took a little while. But the good thing about sliding doors is if you cannot get the frame fully squared, well, the door itself is adjustable. So I'm gonna show you in just a few minutes what I mean by that. But I can show you. I mean, what I'm doing right now is like I'm just going back and forth, and then I'm checking for the gap between the door and the frame. Now this door right here, I mean, it's not the highest quality, so the frame was not the strongest. It was very flimsy, so it was bowing everywhere, so I had to put a few shims around, and I had to deal with it. So I didn't want to spend any more money buying a higher quality one. If you're trying to save money, you can buy this one right here, link in the description. It's gonna work for you. It was a little flimsy, it works great. A massive improvement from the old sliding door that was there, but it took me a little longer to get it squared. And the main issue that I had was just the gap between the door and the frame when I closed the door. But the good thing about these doors, they are adjustable. So let me go ahead and show you what I mean by that. So to fully square the door, the easiest way is to actually lift the door either on the left or the right side. Now the door is adjustable on the bottom. Remember those wheels that I showed you earlier in the video? Well, there's a screw right here, the one on the bottom. Phillips usually, and then you go clockwise to raise the wheel and counterclockwise to lower it, and that will lift either the left or the right side. You can see there's another adjustment wheel on the right side, so that way you can close you can square your door, and the gap will be even. Now some doors are going to be more difficult than others, but you know, it is what it is. Also, I've noticed usually when closing these doors, you want to have the little metal thing sticking out before you close it. Because if you try to close it with a lever when the door is closed, sometimes it may hit that little latch inside the frame. So it's just a lot easier. That's what I tell my customers. Anytime that I replace those locks, is just to have the little metal thing sticking out before the door closes, and they can just push the lever down. So I also installed a screen door. It doesn't come with a sliding door. You have to buy it separately. Now this one's universal because I didn't special order this door. It didn't fit 100%. It fit like 99.8%. So I had to get pliers and squish the frame of the screen door a tiny bit so that I fit in the hole just perfect. Minor tweaking, you may have to do that. You may not. So it just depends. Overall, it looks nice. It came out nice, and to be honest, it was not that hard. It only took about 3-4 hours, and most of that time was just cleaning up and then getting the door squared. If you liked the video, don't forget to like it. If you haven't subscribed, what are you waiting for? And as always, I will see you next time.